What's up everybody, how's it going? It's Berk, aka Danskeway, and welcome back to the beautiful world of Horizon Forbidden West. Now, before I continue, I think I should do a little bit of a kind of disclaimer slash catch up on what's been going on. I haven't played the game in about 2 months at this point. You can probably guess why already, but I'll explain just in case. Elden Ring really did completely dominate my attention and my time after a while. And even though I tried to play Forbidden West and Elden Ring at the same time, after maybe 3 sessions of doing that, I was just like, you know what, I don't think this is working that well. Both of these games are so great in their own right, and they deserve to be enjoyed they deserve my full attention, basically. And I think Elden Ring, it was doing better on the channel. I was enjoying the game more in terms of how absorbed I was into Elden Ring. I can't lie about that. And I had friends that were playing it alongside me at the same time, and there was this constant conversation and discussion about the progress and what we were all doing and that kind of thing. And so I thought, if I am going to bring it down to one game, well, one massive game at once on the channel alongside Final Fantasy IV in terms of recording, it has to be Elden Ring. And so in my mind at that point, I was like, I can probably finish Elden Ring in like a decent amount of time if I put my focus completely into that. And Elden Ring ended up being such a long series with so much content, it was absolutely unreal. It took me over 140 hours to complete that game. And so obviously when that happened, I was like, I don't want to return to Forbidden West until Elden Ring is done. I can put that behind me and I can fully focus back into Forbidden West and really immerse myself back into it and enjoy the rest of the story. So that's what I've done. It did take me a long time, but thankfully before I decided to have Elden Ring take over my recording schedule, I had enough Forbidden West so that you guys wouldn't have been interrupted by with the viewing experience in terms of the channel. So that's the deal. I have been away from the game for a while, but because I edit the content again, I've been kind of re-watching what I've been doing and kind of following the story along as I've been going too. So it's not like I don't know anything about the game again in the last 2 months. I have been following everything so far. So we should be pretty much like... in terms of combat, that'll take me a bit longer, but in terms of just what's going on generally in the story, especially now that we're going back to Gaia, I should be pretty much up to speed, and there shouldn't really be any issues. So let's head straight in there, and now that we've got Demeter back, we can see what's going on and what the next quest is going to be in terms of the main story. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of updates. Alright. So I think I'll ignore all of like the banter with the group and stuff first. I'll go straight to Gaia. And we'll go from there. I thought still there might be a little bit of a cutscene where everyone sort of greets Aloy as she returns, since she's got the third one that they were after.
It is good to see you again, Aloy. I see you have recovered Demeter.
Now the fact that there's an exclamation mark before we even deliver Demeter makes me wonder if there's anything here, but there's no prompt to talk to her, so I think I can just do it. Let's go. Exposition time. I personally don't mind these long conversations and stuff. They give a lot of information, answer a lot of questions. I think it's worth it.
Aloy. With the acquisition of Ether, Poseidon, and Demeter, my heuristic processing density has expanded greatly. I should now be able to absorb Hephaestus. And fortunately, we have made progress on a plan to capture it.
Nice.
With Varl's encouragement, Beta analyzed all available information on Hephaestus. Its expansion has been rampant. It is too large to be beamcast, and the kernel you have been using could never hold it. Therefore, it must be contained in a location with a direct physical connection to me. A place with 2 data cores.
2 cores. Where would we find a place like that?
Gemini.
An abandoned cauldron of here. Seismic activity disrupted the original construction. 2 data cores were built as a result.
I've been there. The Tenakth marked the entrance as some kind of ritual ground. We'll have to bring you there by hand.
I have devised a blueprint for a suitable, albeit unwieldy, transport rig. It will require 2 people to carry it to Gemini.
I can help.
Once I am installed on the first core, I will call down Hephaestus on the other, trapping it. I will then initiate the merge. However, in order to construct the rig, I will need considerable help.
Can you build it? I suppose I could, but it's not gonna work. The Zeniths will find you. Minerva won't be able to conceal your location.
That is correct. Absorbing Hephaestus will create a significant power surge, easily detected by anyone capable of noticing.
But what if there were multiple power surges? To fake out the Zeniths? If Erend, Zoe, and Kotallo spread out to the other cauldrons and create their own surges, would those conceal the one at Gemini?
Analyzing. Such a tactic might be effective. With Beta's help, we should be able to build a set of handheld pulse generators.
I told you it's not gonna work. I did a test. Hephaestus has written Alpha clearance out of its access module. You'll never be able to capture it. Then we need a higher level of clearance. There is no higher...
Ted Faro's mega clearance.
The one he used to purge the Apollo database and kill the Alphas. But to get it, you would have to find Thebes. The private bunker he retreated to when the world ended, and nobody knows where that is, not even the Zeniths. Their only intel was that it was somewhere in San Francisco. That might be all I need. Alva, the Quen diviner I met, said her people had set up a base at landfall. They were searching for data in San Francisco from there. She might be able to help. So I guess I'm headed all the way west. While I'm gone, will you be able to build the rig and the pulse generators? I'll try.
I'll make sure she has what she needs.
Alva said the Quen have a ferry on the coast that they use to get to the ruins of San Francisco. That's where I need to go.
Okay, nice. I mean, that was pretty concise. I like that plan. Pharaoh's tomb.
Aloy, I have managed to unlock an additional room near the servers.
Understood.
Pharaoh's tomb. That sounds like a really interesting quest. Okay, I'm hype. Level 26, we're level 29, not too bad, that's fine. You guys have seen the challenge has been pretty significant in some of the areas, so I think we're absolutely fine. Let me speak to Gaia, just exhaust some of these exclamation points.
I'm back, Gaia.
Wait, what?
Hello, Aloy. What would you like to discuss?
Why are the subtitles like that now? That's weird. I didn't change that. Hold on.
I guess I should get going.
As you say. Be well, Aloy.
That's like some kind of bug or something. Can you even set that yourself? Display subtitles on, subtitle background is off. Yeah, it's already off. That's so weird. It's like a bug, I guess. I don't mind too much, but it's just like, I was just wondering if I changed the setting completely.
Hi, Gaia.
What?
Hello,
That's so strange. Maybe it just kind of fixes itself, I don't know. So yeah, let's have some more conversations.
Beta's convinced we won't be able to capture Hephaestus. With that attitude, do you really think she'll be able to build the rig and pulse generators?
It may take some coaxing, but with some assistance I am confident she will.
I don't get her, Gaia. She's so quick to assume we'll fail. She's nothing like... Like what I thought she'd be. I guess it'll be best if she stays here when we go to Gemini.
I guess she's never had the triumphs that you've had, man.
All this data I've picked up in ancient bunkers and ruins. I guess I never really thought that other people would be looking at it.
Based on my observations, your companions engage quite frequently with this material. Errand has asked on numerous occasions about birthday parties. He appears perplexed by the tradition of serving a sweet confection, as it conflicts with the Oseram tradition of serving sparkling stout ale. He also suggested we host a party for you, as a surprise.
Yeah, no thanks.
That is what I predicted.
Yeah, Gaia's not too familiar with the concept of surprises just yet, I guess.
Is Kotallo getting along with everyone?
Yes, though he prefers to spend most of the time alone. He appears to be collating data on war machine progression and significant battles during the Pharaoh Plague, to aid in the creation of a war map of Operation Enduring Victory. I believe he aims to study the tactics of old world warfare.
I'd be interested in seeing that.
It appears to be a private pastime for him. He has repeatedly declined my offers to assist his research.
Yeah, we're definitely going to chat to everyone soon.
So now that you have Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon, how's the biosphere looking?
In the local region, conditions have improved. Superstorms have subsided. Water sources have been purified, and soil conditions remediated. These improvements will stave off environmental collapse for a few additional months.
Well, with luck, soon you'll have Hephaestus. Then you'll be able to fix the biosphere for good, right?
Correct. I will be able to design and produce robotic agents to permanently reverse the environmental damage that has accumulated.
Nice. So we already know the plan to capture Hephaestus, but Omega clearance. So I've been joking about like Elizabeth Sobek, Alpha Prime and all that stuff, but there is, of course, if we have the Alpha, we have the Omega 2, which is Ted Faro. So let's have a little recap of this.
There's something I've been wondering. How could Ted Faro create a clearance level higher than Alpha? Elizabeth made sure he wouldn't interfere with the project.
It is plausible he tasked his own engineers with creating a backdoor to the Zero Dawn system, without Elizabeth's knowledge. My predecessor did not even know of its existence until he activated it to purge the Apollo database. It is, in effect, a blind spot. One that will allow us to subdue Hephaestus. And fortunately, thanks to Beta's information, we know where Omega clearance may be procured.
Right. Somewhere in San Francisco.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that spun round all those years later for him. Our progress, question mark, disease. I don't know if this is... I guess it's still exclamation point. Let's just exhaust them.
So our plan to capture Hephaestus. Let's go over it again.
As you wish. Thanks to Beta's test, we now know that Hephaestus will not respond to your Alpha clearance, which is why you will need to procure Ted Faro's Omega clearance.
Right. From his personal bunker, Thebes.
While you are gone, I will assist Beta in building the transport rig and pulse generators. When we get to Gemini, I will need to be installed on one of the facility's cores. The second core is for Hephaestus. Using Omega clearance will allow you to trap it.
And then you'll be able to absorb it.
Not quite. You will need to manually remove Hephaestus's malicious code before the merge.
How long will that take?
There are calculations I still must run, but I estimate a few hours.
And during that time, the others will create a distraction for us using the pulse generators, right?
Correct. They will each take position at a cauldron door and fire off their device. The energy surge should mask our activities until the merge is complete.
And then we'll have everything we need to defeat the Zeniths. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I like this stuff being available. Again, it's completely optional whether you want to rehear the plan just to get it completely down in your head. I think it's just nice to have this information available. So, again, some of this stuff is still like highlighted, so I think we should ask about them. And we have a new one about Zenith identities.
The Zeniths. Gerard, Eric, Tilda, Verbena. Beta said they were some of the most powerful people on Earth. I think Elizabeth knew one of them. Tilda. Did she ever mention her to you?
No. Elizabeth often spoke of her work, or told stories of her mother and her childhood. If she knew this Tilda, she did not disclose it with me. What we can conclude from your and Beta's experiences is that the Zeniths are ruthless in pursuit of their goal. To protect life on Earth, they must be stopped.
Okay.
So Gemini has 2 data cores. I've never seen a cauldron like that. But you mentioned something about seismic activity?
When my predecessor attempted to build the cauldron, construction was disrupted by a series of earthquakes. The data core had already been built, but the rest of the facility sustained damage. So, she began again. A second core was built. However, when more tremblers occurred, she abandoned the site.
Lucky for us. Are the quakes still happening?
No, though they did also create instabilities in other facilities in the region.
So what, is the San Andreas fault like no longer an issue now in this game?
So the facility where I recovered Demeter used to be a Faro agricultural research facility. It's where they created the biomass conversion system, but also adamantine wreath. Did Elizabeth know they were working on that?
It is likely she was briefed on other efforts to combat the machine swarm, though her focus was devoted only to Zero Dawn.
That makes sense. But they actually got the wreaths to work. If they've been able to deploy it against the Pharaoh Plague in time...
Using the data you recovered on the project, I ran several simulations and have concluded that it would never have worked. In all scenarios, the Pharaoh war machines would eventually hack and deactivate the wreath before they could contain the swarm.
So Zero Dawn really was the only solution.
Okay, fair enough. That's good to know.
There was a lot of data in the greenhouse facility about agriculture. Do you think it'll help the Quen fix their homeland?
I will run a query. Complete. The data contains information about novel crop production methods, which may be beneficial to the tribe in the long term.
But new crops aren't going to save the world, so I guess it's on us.
It is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the main thing here is for us to literally put everything together and have Gaia take charge again and restore Zero Dawn, the project. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter.
I found some data in one of the rooms you unlocked. It mentioned that there are still functional seed banks beneath this facility. Why is it there?
My predecessor was tasked with reconstituting the biosphere with primary and secondary plant species. Had everything gone according to plan, humans would have eventually been able to introduce tertiary species, including new crops.
Can we access them now?
Unfortunately, it will have to wait. I require control over the machines in order to access and distribute the preserved seed stock.
And for that we need Hephaestus. It's something to look into later then.
Fair play. The missing subordinate functions. Could Hephaestus help us defeat the Zeniths? Okay, we've got 3 more left, and then we can start talking to the crew.
So, once Hephaestus has been recovered and merged, you'll regain the capacity to mass-produce machines at cauldrons around the world.
Yes, and to program their behavioral routines, or even control them directly.
So you could build an army of machines. Attack the Zeniths and take them out.
It is in my nature to take any and all necessary steps to preserve life on Earth, human life above all. So yes, once I have been empowered with the capacities of Hephaestus, I could design, build, and command such an army. Given the nature of the far Zenith threat, doing so may be our only option. I must admit, however, that I have misgivings about using such technology to kill, no matter how aggressive the enemy.
That's good. It means you have a conscience. As Elizabeth intended.
Indeed.
Okay.
The missing subordinate functions. What can you tell me about them?
Artemis rewilded the Earth with a variety of animal species. Eleuthia was responsible for gestating, nurturing, and acculturating a new generation of human beings. Apollo was tasked with preserving, organizing, and disseminating vast archives of human knowledge and cultural achievements. Unfortunately, all archived Apollo data was purged on the 2nd of February, 2066, by order of Ted Faro.
Faro, huh? I really hate that guy.
Understandable. He appears to have been pathologically narcissistic, impulsive, and unstable.
All 3 of the missing functions have already served their purpose, or were prevented from doing so. Do you still need them?
Restoring their remaining elements would increase my heuristic processing density, empowering my overall function. Unfortunately, as we now know they are in the possession of Far Zenith, attaining them in the short term is very likely impossible.
I guess our best shot at recovering them is by taking over the Zenith base. But we'll need Hephaestus and a bunch of combat machines to do that.
Correct.
Okay, so it's looking clear that it's not going to be the end of the story when, let's say, we go to do this like cauldron dual core business and Gaia absorbs Hephaestus. It's not going to be enough. Once we do that, the Far Zeniths are still there. So the next major quest is, of course, to try to unify everything under Gaia's control. Then we literally have the final war against Far Zenith to save everything. So I think that's how it's kind of playing out so far.
Have you been able to make use of Demeter's functions?
Yes. I was able to mitigate most soil conditions and restore a temporary balance. You should notice less rampant plant growth in the area.
Maybe that'll give Plainsong's fields a chance to recover.
Unfortunately, recovery in that area is unlikely without the assistance of the Utaru's land gods. I have discussed this matter with Zoe. I believe we may have a workaround.
Yeah, I'm helping her out with that.
Yeah, maybe that's related to another side quest. Demeter is still highlighted.
There's something I'm still trying to figure out. Why was Demeter using flying machines to distribute metal flowers?
In its deranged state, Demeter was defending itself against a robotic swarm that would devour all plant life.
It thought the Pharaoh Plague was still happening?
It feared it would come again. As part of its directive of receding Earth's vegetation, it sought to protect plant life at all costs. And considering it had 20 years to proliferate, I expect you will continue to find the fruits of its efforts for some time.
That's a good thing I have the code to dissolve the vines, then.
Okay. All of the Gaia conversations have been exhausted.
I should be going.
Goodbye, Aloy.
It's still confused about why the subtitles now have a background, but fair enough. I guess narratively, one of the things I'm most interested in at this stage is, by the end of this game, is it going to be really clear there's still another sequel to this like same story, or is it really going to wrap things up and it's going to be done? Usually they like to do things in trilogies, so my assumption is there's still going to be enough scope for more story by the end of this, but I am wondering about the finality of the ending now. But yeah, let's catch up with our people, see what they're up to, see if it's going to trigger any other side quests, and then we can decide what we want to explore or do quests for. There you go. There's at least one.
I've run for the hills and never looked back.
Wait.
Come on, I'm being serious.
So am I.
So let's head back to Aloy's room first.
I know Varl meant well, bringing up Rost. I guess it's hard to talk about. With everything going on, it feels easier to set those memories aside. At least for now.
So we're going to try and trigger off as much stuff as we can, but I like these sort of artifacts building up here. Restock all categories. Nice. So does that mean I've now got... Yeah, Echo Shell I still don't have enough of. Machine Muscle seems fine, but Echo Shell's a problem still. So I need to find more of those.
Beta's so frustrating. I don't get how she can be so negative all the time. I mean, we're clones of the same woman, and yet... she couldn't be more different from Elizabeth.
Okay. What, there's 15 data points here? It's 2 of 15. I don't know if it means there's 15 in this facility. I doubt it. The big old monstera plants as well. I've been learning a little more about plants recently. I've started to add some plants to my place.
The coming battle won't be easy.
Yeah, so he wasn't really using Gaia's help for his own research. Let's see if he'll talk to us about it.
Got a minute?
As many as you need.
I have to travel beyond the western coast.
To the ruins, shrouded in fog.
Yes, and I'm looking for a tribe, the Quen. I encountered them once before. They said they came from across the Great Ocean. I was hoping that Tenakth knew more about them.
There were rumors of trespassers in the area, but we thought they were just bandits. Hikaru sent out a patrol or two, but I don't recall them reporting back. We've had more pressing concerns, as you know. I'm sorry. That's all I can tell you.
It's okay. I guess I'll find out soon enough.
There is something I've been meaning to discuss with you. It's personal. If you have a moment to spare.
Yeah, definitely. I want to do these more personal quests for my peoples.
You said there was something you wanted to talk about?
I've been speaking with Gaia. She mentioned that the Zeniths bind metal with flesh to make themselves stronger. I was wondering if you'd help me do the same.
You want to make yourself a new arm?
Yes. Gaia insists she can help me build such a thing if I can get the necessary data and materials. She believes these things lie in the place where Beta hid from the Zeniths.
Their ancient research lab.
I am not as familiar with old world machinery as you are. I could use your assistance.
It might be dangerous. The Zeniths probably still keep an eye on that place. We were lucky to get out of there alive the first time.
I see.
It sounds like this is worth the risk.
By the 10, we shall see it through.
Yeah, that's cool. I definitely want to help this guy. I mean, he's such a badass and a great character. So I'd like to do his quest and help him get a functional arm. And I'm sure, well, he could help us even more when it comes down to battle. So we'll do this.
Does it still hurt?
It comes and goes. I try not to think about it, but its absence is always present for me. It's difficult to explain.
I can't claim to understand. Only empathize.
Then you have my thanks.
Okay, keep it simple.
Have you spoken with Erend at all?
I've had little chance to. I did see him bring some ale from out east.
That stuff's as bitter as salve brush.
You get used to it, eventually. In fact, I wouldn't mind a drink myself.
I'm sure Erend wouldn't mind sharing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a few drinks with Kotallo and just like having him loosen up a bit more and just talk about more about his personal life, his history, that kind of stuff. Sure, it'd be fun.
What have you been up to?
Varl has asked to learn the differences between my people's clans, so I've been teaching him Tenakth history. It is heavy with blood and death, but also with honorable deeds and vanquished tyrants. Maybe you'd like to hear about it as well, when our mission is done.
I'd be honored. What do Tenakth do to relax? You know, to take a break from training?
We play strike. Your Oseram friend, Erend, is surprisingly good at it, although he has yet to beat me. It helps one think strategically, hones the mind for tactics.
Somehow that still sounds like training.
That's true. Okay. I think that your training ones are like, I'm not sure how valuable they are, I might miss those, but let's just do one of them to see what kind of conversation it is, and we'll decide.
Must be strange, seeing everything through a focus now.
I can see machines like never before. Their strengths and weaknesses simply reveal themselves to me. To think that such a tiny object might be the most powerful weapon I've ever possessed.
That's true. Okay, that was cool. I want to know more.
What do you think of this place? It must take some getting used to.
It's an efficient center of operations, and an acceptable training facility. Though it could use some more color.
Duly noted.
I like that he's suggesting that. I agree.
Anything interesting happen while I was away?
I found an acceptable place to practice with my blade.
Oh, and where's that?
Outside, above the base. There's a nest of sunwings that are always up for a fight.
Ever thought of sparring with something that's not trying to kill you?
That would defeat the purpose of the training.
Found anything interesting during your training?
Gaia told me where to find data on how wars were waged in the old world. I knew the Ten fought against machines, much as we do now, but it seems they were among the last of their kind. Later, machines battled other machines on behalf of greedy leaders, as they vied for lands and spoils. At least the Tenakth have the courage to put their lives on the line when conflicts arise.
There is nobility in that. But maybe we just need fewer conflicts in the first place.
Yes, of course. Hekarro would have it so as well.
Exactly. Okay, good.
I should get going. I've got a long road ahead.
Should you need reinforcements,
I know who to call. I'll call you when I'm near the Zenith lab. We'll get what you need for that new arm of yours.
thank you, Aloy.
Yeah, we're 100% doing that. I'm definitely going to give that a go. It's level 30 as well. It seems a pretty good level to me. So we'll have a look at all of these once we set them up. And we'll see. And I have been away for 2 months, so getting to chat to everyone again is nice. It's a good catch up for me as well.